Welcome back to Ozarks Fox AM. Today I'm showing you how to make a super delicious sweet and savory appetizer. Take a look. Today I'm making caramelized onion tarts with blue cheese. It's going to be a great little appetizer. They called for 2.5 pounds of onions, which I wasn't sure how much was. I think I got 5 large onion, which turned out to have a lot left over. I think they used maybe 4 small white or yellow onion. Cut them very, very thin, and we want to use a heavy bottom pan. We are going to caramelize these, and that takes time. You're going to be cooking these onion for about an hour. First, put 1 tablespoon of olive oil in the pan. Get your onion in there, and then I kind of broke them up. They asked to use a wooden spoon or even a spatula. After about 10 minutes, you're going to put a liberal amount of salt in. And they will look more brown like this. At that point, it's about 40 minutes in. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar. Mix that in. We've still got about 20 minutes left. So at that point, let's add some white wine. We're going to get all that good caramelized onion off the bottom. Put them in a bowl and set them aside. Make sure your oven is preheated to 400. Now, I have not used puff pastry before, so it comes in 2 sheets like this, and we're going to cut them in thirds. And then we're going to cut them in thirds again. Now, what we're doing is cutting a smaller square inside these squares. Don't cut it all the way through, but what that's going to do is it's going to make the sides kind of curl up a little bit, which is going to hold all this deliciousness that we are making. Just make sure you don't cut it all the way through. Once that's done, we're going to use an egg mixture just to kind of put it around the edges. Don't put it on the center. We're going to save that for the jam. Now, they called for fig jam, which I could not find, so I am using peach. I'm using about a tablespoon of peach jelly in the center of all of these. Next, we're going to put in our caramelized onions. Put in however much you feel. After that, it was time for the blue cheese. Now, whether you like a lot of blue cheese or a little bit of blue cheese, that's totally up to you. I put quite a bit. I filled these up pretty well. And the last and final touch, well, almost final touch, it asked for honey, but I used Mike's hot honey. I wanted to give it just a little bit of a kick. Just a little bit. I think it just added the flavor it needed. Last but not least, just a little bit of thyme, fresh thyme on each one. And it's time to bake. Now, it called for 8 to 10 minutes, but I found that wasn't quite long enough because I like them crispy. So I cooked mine about 12 to 15. And I ate several of them. They really turned out good. Let's heat them up now and see how Jeremy likes them. They're going to make a great appetizer at your next party. All right, Jeremy, I apologize for ruining your good week on no carbs, but you're gonna
it's
you're
worth
gonna
it
like
though.
this.
I think it's gonna be worth it.
Now, here you go, and you can eat it with a fork or not.
Can I try to pick it up to see how it works?
Sure, yeah, eat it however you want to. Now, let me just say, did you know in the video I don't know if these are even still warm.
They are.
They are? Okay. They called for fig jam, which I could not find. So I did use the apricot.
Which I'm fine with. I love apricot.
And I will tell you that I used more onions than they did when I looked at it later. They have one of those little tiny little bulbs that they just did a little plop of onions. So I used more. But sometimes more is better. Jeremy, you can't even talk because you're just eating.
You keep talking because I'm eating this delicious.
And I got one that is not even warmed up.
Are you serious?
That's okay.
Well, how can you tell which ones are warm and which ones aren't?
I put them around, I think, on that edge.
I think, now mine's not hot, it's warm. It's just nice.
This is cold. That's okay. That's all right. It's still good.
It's so
cold,
good.
Though. Now, another thing, they called for regular honey, but I used the hot honey, and it gave it just a little bit of a kick. Would you serve these as an appetizer?
Not only would I will, and I'll put them. You know, the only thing I put more of,
Hot honey.
blue cheese.
Oh, a blue cheese, of
I'd put
course.
more blue cheese.
You know,
That's the only
look,
thing.
you should have gotten that one. That one's got a whole lot of blue cheese. And that's the other thing you do.
That is
Hey,
so
you messed up now.
good.
You might as well have another one. They really are delicious. And I was making these, you know, late for us last night. And so they were warm right out of the oven.
Did you eat one?
Did I eat one? I had 3. Oh my goodness. So I messed it up for me too. So yes, they were so good.
So were they amazingly hot out of the oven?
Oh, yeah.
Is this one warm at all? Mm-mm. Okay. I really wanted that blue cheese, but
wait a minute.
Wait, here it has. Oh, that has a lot of blue
that
cheese.
one's warm. I don't know. Is it?
I just no. First of all, I'm glad you put more onion. I would have done the same thing.
And I was pretty liberal with the blue cheese as well.
No, you just know I'm like a blue cheese addict, though.
I know you are.
Like I'm like excessive with
Extra
blue cheese.
blue cheese, please. Mm-hmm. You could put some blue cheese dressing on it.
This one tastes even better.
Well, because I think you got a little more blue cheese on that one. I will post this recipe, guys, if you're interested in this, because these really did turn out nice. Have you used puff pastry before?
I have. I enjoy it.
I didn't know what that cutting in there, that was just to kind of build the sides up. I cut a little square in the center, and then you build the sides up so it kind of holds all this deliciousness right there in the center. But yeah, these turned out really great.
I'm telling you, you could serve these for breakfast.
You could
It's
serve them
sweet.
anytime.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's sweet and savory. It kind of tastes.
That's true.
It could be good for any meal of the day.
It's not overly sweet,
No.
and it's not overly tangy
Savory,
or tart.
yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
Sorry, I will stop eating so I can say coming up, we're playing Got You Covered. Now I'm gonna finish eating.
Yes. We'll be back.
Yeah, I love that.
That was good.
The apricot was so good with that.
It is.
Who needs fish?